Good evening, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. So let's get open for business. And well, my football guys, I've got to get a new light. For whatever reason, I dropped the remote yesterday and it just stopped working. I don't know if it reprogrammed it to another frequency or what, but it's just not working right now. But anyway, they're still looking down upon us. Now, it's kind of interesting because today the NFL let Xavier Howard know that there will be no suspension for him and he'll be able to get paired up with Byron Jones in Miami, which is great news for him. But this is one of those ones that if you're Zeke Elliott, you're going, oh. This is one of those cases where I try and point out to people that the Cowboys get treated harsher than anybody else in the NFL. Anybody else. Zeke Elliott literally went through the ringer for a year. They made a case, over a year actually. They came out with a 138-page report. They went through case after case after case suspending him. Zeke Elliott was never arrested. Zeke Elliott was never charged. It went from the police to the district attorney, nothing. And yet he still got suspended for 6 games. Now, I'm not saying that Xavier was guilty. I'm not. But I'm just looking at this because, again, Zeke was never arrested. There was, of course, a lot of things that kind of said, maybe this isn't quite right. Let me read to you this real quick. Per the police report, Howard and his fiancée got in an argument over a purchase of a purse. He allegedly grabbed her arm and pushed her against the mirror glass wall in the hallway of their bedroom. Howard let her go, which caused her to fall on her arm and into his crutches. According to Kelly, the police report noted his fiancée had physical scratches and redness on her arms and wrists and forearm. Andy Slater of Fox Sports 640 provided a look at Howard's mugshot with the following the rest. So that's what we have here. And like I said, things happen in life and all that. And I'm not saying that he's guilty or anything like that, but the case was dropped because she decided not to testify against him. And so there's no fine, there's no suspension, there's nothing. Our season was lost because Zeke Elliott was suspended for 6 games. The police, the district attorney, the courts could prove nothing happened, yet he was suspended for 6 games. Let me give you another one. We know how Dak Prescott and crew were vilified about practicing together. We saw how Zeke Elliott, of course, testing positive, how that made all the rounds. Nobody else was announced that it tested positive, only Zeke Elliott. So today, I decided to go through and look at Undisputed today, all the headlines. I'm curious because, see, the Giants kicker, and for whatever reason, the Giants have problems with kickers. Their kicker, driving 100 miles an hour, stops at a stoplight, falls asleep, wakes up, hits a truck, runs until the wheels fall off the truck, gets out the truck and tries to flee, gets caught by the police, bloodied and bruised. And apparently he had a history of some other things that went wrong before this. So I figured, of course, they'll say something about this. I'm sure that they'll say something about this. So I went through and looked back at the headlines from Undisputed today. Avery Bradley is becoming a strong voice of the NBA. Shannon Sharp shocked by Lamar Jackson, admitting he peaked ahead of the playoffs. Shannon takes a look at the NBA in Orlando. Whoever wins the NBA title deserves an asterisk. Lamar Jackson shouldn't have admitted he underestimated the Titans. Skip Bayless reacts to Bill Russell's calling Trump a coward. Shannon Strong reaction to Texas A&M quarterback. Shannon shocked by Steve Kerr doesn't think 2020 deserves an asterisk. Skip Bayless stunned. Tom Brady looks like a 24-year-old man in a Bucs uniform. Shannon Sharp furious. Mike Gundy apologizes fake. Skip Bayless outraged. Mike Gundy must be fired. Skip Bayless assistant Mike Gundy should be fired for wearing an OAN shirt. Skip Bayless frustrated. NBA gives team details. Return to play to life in a bubble. Shannon Sharp backlash. Undisputed outburst. Shannon Sharp over Steve Kerr. Shannon praises Bill Russell. Skip reacts to Mike Gundy. Shannon Sharp praises Bill Russell. Kyrie Irving, Colin Kaepernick, Zeke Elliott, audio podcast. That was from 23 hours ago. Let's see, Lamar Jackson admits Ravens peaked early. Let's see. So that's all of the stuff that they talked about today. Funny. The Giants kicker didn't come up. Not once. Not once. So for those that say that the Dallas Cowboys, that certain people have an out to get them, say it's bull, come on, man. You got to be seeing this by now. You have to be seeing this by now. This is one of those things that these biases are actually hurting the Dallas Cowboys team. You lose your star player for 6 games, not due to injury. That's a factor of the game. You lose it because, well, we got a vendetta against you. You get calls that nobody else is getting called on. Things like, too many men in the huddle, called twice ever, and both times on the Cowboys. Get calls like, unnecessary roughness by the running back for lowering the head, called twice against the Dallas Cowboys and nobody else. You get calls like, the punter moved the football. Never been called on anybody else. You get calls like tripping 2 times in a game that even the NFL kind of says, that was bullshit. These are things that cost a team games and hurt a team and make it that much harder for them to succeed. And it's time for this stuff to end. This is just freaking ridiculous. I could point out to other things where instances that you just look at and it's like, why? What? But we all know they're there. We all know they're there. So I hope you guys are having a great hump day. It's raining outside, so fish are going to be extra wet today, and we'll see if it's still pouring when it's time to do my fireside chat. But as always, I want to thank everybody for being here and helping me get through the day. And I guess I'm going to go back and do some more work in the workshop. I will see you guys soon.